We've got a couple of things we need to do this morning. We're back after a couple of weeks gone, and we had the tropical depression come through. I think it was Ophelia, and we got over 7 inches of rain and some wind. So what happened to my beautiful zinnias is that they got decimated, so I'm going to cut them down. And what I'm going to do today is collect seed pods from the okra. I've got a burgundy variety and a green variety, so I'm just going to go ahead and collect those for next year. And then Chris is going to come through and mow this down, and then we'll tarp it for the winter. So we're done with this area. Usually my zinnias last until the first frost, but because of that storm, they're beat to pieces and brown and dying. So that was it. I'm glad I got a video of them earlier when they were so pretty, because now they're gone. But that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and get this taken care of. And I did see where I had some potatoes regenerate, so I'm going to dig those up and see if I've got any potatoes to harvest also. Let's get some okra seeds for next year. All right, you leave the okra, old okra that you didn't harvest. For instance, this is a yummy one. We can cook that and eat that. This one was big and it got too big and we just left it on the vine and dried out. So now I have a lot of seeds in here that I can plant, save and plant for next year. And that's what I did here, is all of these okra were from seeds saved from last year's harvest. So look at all the seeds, and that's just from one pod. There's probably, I don't know, 20 in here. From one okra pod. And I'm spilling some of them, but that's the little okra seeds, and so we'll save those for next year. And we won't have to buy any seeds, or we won't have to buy any plants. So I'm just going to, right now, I'm just going to take all these pods and just put them in my little basket, my little bag, and then I'll go through them later and get all the seeds out. Well, that's going to be quite a lot, which is a good thing. Saving seeds saves money. A little caterpillar on that one. You see that one? Can you see the little yellow caterpillar? Cute. Put him over there. Another good thing you can do with okra pods once they're dried up is you could put them in your fall arrangements. You can stick them in existing wreaths that you have, or tuck them in with little pumpkins on the tabletop. So they make a good decoration for fall, much like you would spent corn stalks. These are real fall looking. They're kind of pretty. Little ones will be good to eat. All right, we're going to get some of the burgundy pods, and I'm going to separate those because I'm not sure I love that variety. They don't taste a whole lot different, but they are a little bit bigger. These are the pods from the burgundy okra, and you can see that they're quite a bit bigger than the pods from the green okra. This is a type of okra seed that I got from Baker Creek, and I grew it last year, and they just get really big and hard very fast. So if you don't harvest the burgundy okra when it's this size, it is no good. So you have to stay on top of that completely. I'm gonna put those to the side so I don't mix those up, and I don't know that I'm gonna grow that much next year. It's not our favorite. We like the green, so you just stick, after a couple of years, you stick with what you like, I guess is the best rule of thumb. I do have some sweet potatoes in here too, that I'm gonna try to dig around and see if I can harvest any of those before it gets cut down. I'm not gonna save a lot of these, because these I don't really care much for. There's one. You see how big they get? This burgundy variety. You can't eat that. You can't eat that or that. So that's 3 that are no good. This one's good. So if you don't stay on top of the burgundy ones, they'll get away from you a lot faster than the green ones will. All right, I think that's gonna do it for the harvesting of the last little bit of okra. And the okra seed pods. They're nice and dry. You have to let the seeds dry in anything you're harvesting. All right, so we're gonna call okra done. Thank you, Lord, for this bountiful harvest of okra. We have enjoyed it, and we look forward to next year's crop. There's one more. One more, last one. All right, that'll do it for us. I've noticed I have some potatoes volunteering or regrowing, probably where I dug potatoes and left some in the ground by mistake. And so those are growing, and I'm just gonna dig around the base to see if we have any viable potatoes for the second go round. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. I kind of guess not, but you never know. No, this one started growing from this little tiny leftover one, so that's not going to be much. All of these probably are from a little rotten one that got left. Let's see. Which they'll probably spring up next year too. Yeah, well, if we wanted to say one little potato, we could. Oh, well now that one's okay. That one's pretty good. All right, so that just proves I need to dig them up. Alrighty, that's what we'll do. What we've got so far, and that's just right here in this area of little volunteer potatoes. Here's another one, and then there's a couple more down here. You see how bad these zinnias are. They just got blown over and wet and died, but they will sow their seeds for next year. So here's a couple more potatoes. All right, we're gonna dig them every one now. See what we've got. Yeah, these are good little potatoes. right, the bonus harvest this morning yielded over a dozen potatoes, and the rest of my drip that I didn't know was there, and an end cap, which I didn't know was there. So I'd say that was a good morning, and a couple of the ties, the landscape ties, so that won't mess with the mower when he mows. So that was a good little find. Now I've got a couple of sweet potatoes, so I'm gonna see if they are yielding anything as well. Look at that pretty little flower. I love it. Sweet potatoes. I will be surprised if we do. So here's a vine. Our friends, the rabbits, have been eating the leaves off these vines, which is fine. All right, so here's the plant. Get it uncovered from all this grass. Here's the original sweet potato vine, the plant that I planted from the little slips that I grew in the tub. There's a video that shows that, where I grew these little slips. That's what you call them, little plants. But you can see here that the rabbits have been nibbing off the edges of these leaves. So that's one vine, so we'll see. It might be a little bit early for sweet potatoes, but let's just see. I'm curious before I mow all this down to see if we're going to get anything worth keeping. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, there's a itty bitty sweet potato. Yeah, I don't know if that's... We can use that to make sweet potato biscuits, I guess. So, there's one. Was a good harvest. We've got our leftover potatoes. We've got our seed pods for our okra, and then we're gonna cut it down. So that is all good. And we got some okra to eat. Goodbye okra. Next is goodbye grass and goodbye zinnias. Until next year. Okay, all that's left is primary garden. So we've gotten this garden clear and the garden and all the garden on the other side of the fence clear with the flowers, and then we'll come over with some plastic or some landscape fabric and cover this part until next year. So it's sad, but it's good too. It's time to shut it down. And so we'll get in there and get the rest of that. I've still got some peppers producing and a couple little Roma tomatoes, and we're gonna let them do their thing, and then we'll get that in the next couple of weeks.